What's going on, guys? Christian here from CK Wraps. Don't forget to check out my brand new website, ckwraps.com, for exclusive brand new footage, 4K video, up close and personal, disassembly videos, discussion and location board, as well as many other things. You can ask me questions, I'll answer them for you. All kinds of different stuff going on there. I'll put a link in the top corner and in the description below for you. Now today, I'm gonna be doing a video on Will It Wrap? So this video right here, we have a ceiling tile. So yeah, some of you are probably like, can I wrap this ceiling tile? I'm gonna wrap this ceiling tile. I'm gonna show you what's gonna happen as a result of wrapping this ceiling tile, and just kind of show you what you can and cannot do as far as this series of videos will go. My recommendation, my personal opinion, that sort of thing. Pretty straightforward. You're gonna need a few things for this. You're gonna need a piece of vinyl, whatever color, whatever finish, whatever texture you desire. Today we have some Vvivid, it's like a ash black wood grain vinyl. It's actually pretty nice looking, very dark. Again, if you're looking for that appearance, if you wanted to do something a little bit brighter, there's always so many different kinds of vinyls out there as far as what they offer as far as architectural films go. Again, they have some great architectural films, and you can wrap a lot of stuff with it. The adhesion is a little bit higher, so we're able to stick to things a little bit better. But again, this is a very textured, very matte finish on the surface of this panel, and we're gonna see if it basically works. You're gonna need some isopropyl alcohol, a heat gun, potentially a squeegee, potentially. I'm not sure how well a squeegee is going to work. Maybe a glove might work better, so I have a glove ready as well, and a knife, basically. So we're going to actually clean the tile off using 70% isopropyl alcohol, and we're basically just going to take this piece of vinyl, stick it flat on top, and see if it'll actually adhere. If it does adhere, great. I don't know how long it will last, but we'll see based off of the amount of adhesion it has. I can kind of give you an opinion. Remember, if we're wrapping a ceiling tile, gravity is kind of pulling on the film all the time, but the vinyl's not that heavy. So the adhesive should be strong enough to actually hold itself to the panel. Let's do this. I'm gonna actually miss the rag so I don't get too much isopropyl alcohol inside the texture or the grooves of this panel. And I'm just gonna kind of dab it. Really, you can't wipe it too much. It doesn't really work. You can see all the dust blowing off of this thing. Is it gonna be perfect? I honestly have no idea. We're gonna find out. Some of the stuff that I'm using today, I'm gonna put links in the description below to Amazon associates there. You're welcome to grab whatever I'm using there or find another way to grab it yourself. But again, the links will be right there for you. The heat gun, the isopropyl alcohol, that sort of stuff. Knife, gloves, everything else, even the vinyl. I think it's called black ash wood. All right, let's dust off the actual film again, because now I got all dusty. And we're just gonna take this and we're gonna wrap it. You can see this is pretty straightforward, flat panel. It's like a cardboard. In a sense, it's very foamy. It's not very dense. It doesn't have a very high energy level. I'll bring it in for you. And then I'm gonna bring the camera in so you can actually watch me wrap this up close and personal. But again, we're just gonna check this out, see what that looks like. Rough edges, things like that. Very, very rough edges, sort of like right around there. That's all banged up here. We're just gonna see what it looks like, because if you can do this, you can pretty much revamp your entire drop ceiling. Let's bring the camera in. The next step here will be to, I'm just gonna blow or dust the surface off slightly, just make sure I'm not picking up too many extra particles here. Use your cloth. Again, do I recommend this? I don't know, it's worth a try though. We're gonna find out. I've never done this in my life. But let's get a little fun with vinyl. Let's get a little funky with it. See what we can do. Okay, let's take my piece of vinyl. We'll place it over top. You can see probably the actual texture to this film right here. So now you can actually see it. You can feel this texture, which is pretty cool. I like that. I was planning to do the walls with it and ended up not doing it. I ended up just painting it, but it was just faster in the end for us. But again, it didn't give us, by painting it, we don't have this nice wood grain finish. So we're kind of stuck with what we have as far as the finish goes with paint, which is just a satin. Cut that off. Cut it more to size, makes things a lot easier when it comes to wrapping it. Now you want to basically keep this as straight as possible. So when you are doing other panels, keep in mind that if you are going to do like 4 or 5 panels in a row, we do want your wood grain to flow. So when you cut your strips off, try to line them up the best you can. This way everything flows. When someone looks at the ceiling, it's going to look a lot more presentable. The adhesive on this is very sticky, and you can actually see what that looks like right there. You can see the texture to the wood grain in the adhesive a lot better actually on this side than you can on the other side. Pretty interesting to actually see it from this side, but very, very sticky film. Again, something that you want it to be very sticky for an application like this. Could you wrap your car in this? Potentially. This is a cast film, so this is not calendared, so it does heat and stretch very nicely. It's very conformable. It's very thin actually. It's very nice compared to, like, you might have, let's say some of you might have used the marble. Again, that might not be the thinnest film. It's a lot thicker and it's more of a cast film. So as I push the film down on the texture of the panel, you really start to see the board come through. Now, is the wood grain probably the best choice when it comes to doing this? Maybe not. But maybe you can take some like brick looking vinyl and wrap the panels in a brick looking vinyl. I mean, that's pretty cool, right? I think that would be pretty cool. Because brick already has a texture to it, so it's expected to see more of a rough texture to the brick. But basically what I'm doing right here is to show you, like, can this be wrapped, and will it actually adhere? Keep it as flat as possible, then stays nice and flat. Makes things a lot easier to do. So squeegeeing it does work pretty well. Obviously it has a massive air release with the texture to the panel. So again, with this being a bit of a darker color, you're not able to see so much of the wood grain anymore in the panel, but again, you could just wrap these panels pretty quickly and efficiently, I think, in a black vinyl if you wanted to just make the ceiling or the roof black. So let's sort of check it out and see what the bond feels like. Okay, that's got some pretty, like, I can probably pick the panel up with it. That's pretty amazing actually. It's sticking very, very well. Okay, I don't think this is ever going to just fall off the panel itself. Give it 50 years, I don't think it's ever going to fall off. Okay, we don't actually have to wrap around the edges on this, because when we stick the panel back in, it's just going to sit again flush in the actual holder. So even if we did miss about a 1/4 inch here, let's say we did, it's going to sit in the tile holder or the rails and the tracks or whatever you want to call them, and it's going to cover about a 1/4 inch of this most of the time. So because panels have to sit inside of something, they can't just sit there and float. So we don't have to wrap too crazy when it comes to doing this. We just wrap to the edge. I'm going to take my blade and I'm going to run the back edge of my blade. When I say I run the back edge of my blade, I'm trying to keep the flattest part of my blade on the flattest part of the edge. Again, if I trim off some of this panel at the same time while doing this, not a big deal, right? It's just a piece of foam, so it's still going to fit as long as I don't cut off like an inch. Okay, so I think we're down to the end of this one here. Let's come across the front. So I like to start in from the corners. I don't ever start right at the corner. I start about an inch in from the corner. It's a little bit funky to cut. It's not all that easy because of the texture of the panel. I mean, could I have done this in blue or orange or green? Yeah, I could have done it in anything. Just thought black would be, the wood grain I thought would be cool. I thought maybe it would show a little bit better than kind of the way it is right now, but again, it's not terrible. Pop all these bad boys off. Probably spends, I mean, this is honestly like a 5-minute wrap job without me talking. So 5 minutes per panel, and this is not an advanced procedure here. This is very straightforward, very basic. You lay the vinyl down flat, you cut it off, and you're done. I'll also end up going over the edges with a bit of heat. So this whole ring should pretty much be cut off in 2 seconds. The outer ring here. Let's cut a slit. Let's bring it all the way out and around and get it off. Voila. Let's throw a little bit of heat at it just to maybe melt down the edges a little bit. Nothing crazy, but maybe it'll round them off a bit. Again, these edges and these corners are going to be hidden because they're going to get tucked away. I'm really not worried about this film peeling off this panel. There's not a chance it's ever going to fall off. I just demonstrated how I could pick up the panel with with the film. So that's enough weight right there to show you that it'll actually bond properly. So that's pretty much it, guys. This is what it's going to look like as far as the wood grain goes over top of a textured finish. Again, bonding, very good. Let's move the camera out, and that's it. Wood grain vinyl, Vvivid wood grain vinyl over top of a ceiling board or ceiling panel or whatever you want to call this thing for a drop ceiling. This sticks very well. Maybe not all vinyls are going to adhere the same way. I definitely probably wouldn't recommend using something like Avery SW900 to bond to this, because it's definitely, I feel like it's not going to bond to it. It's something that I can test down the road just to see if it would work. This vinyl in particular is built for stuff like this, so we could wrap over probably the brick wall or cinder block wall, brick in general maybe. I will try that as well. We're just going to try some different things and see how it goes. Again, we're going to get a wood texture over top of more of like a brick texture. Probably not the best thing to do. Could have just went with like a matte black or a satin black. Would have looked really nice. Black ceiling, black drop ceiling tiles, looks beautiful. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If it was informative and helpful, don't forget to give the video a like. And if you want to see some more videos, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Again, check out ckwraps.com for exclusive content. Thank you for watching. Take care.